A black girl spent her last $10 helping a road warrior. Next day, 75 bikers brought a life-changing gift. The man collapsed at the gas pump, and Sarah had exactly $10 between surviving and losing everything. She was already living in her car. She didn't know him, but watching him gasp for air made her forget her own pain. Before we continue, let us know in the comments section what time is it and where are you watching from. And remember to like and subscribe so you don't miss the rest of the story. Now let's continue. Sarah Mitchell was 24 years old and had been sleeping in her Toyota for 3 weeks. Her world had fallen apart fast. Her mom died 6 months ago from cancer. The hospital bills ate everything. Then Sarah's landlord raised the rent by $400. She couldn't pay it. She had to choose between a roof or eating. She chose eating. Barely. Now she worked at a diner from 5 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon. Then she cleaned houses until 9 at night. Every single day. No breaks, no days off. She was saving every penny to take her nursing test. That test cost $300. She had $240 saved up. Almost there. But almost doesn't keep you warm at night. Almost doesn't stop people from staring at you when you brush your teeth in a gas station bathroom. That Friday afternoon, Sarah stopped at the gas station on MLK Boulevard. She needed to put gas in her car. She had $10 and some change left until payday on Monday. She was going to put $7 in the tank, save $3 for food over the weekend. The sun was burning hot, the kind of heat that makes your skin sticky and your head hurt. That's when everything changed. She saw him stumbling toward the pumps, a huge guy with a gray beard, covered in tattoos, wearing a black leather vest. He was walking funny, like his legs didn't work right. Then he grabbed onto his motorcycle and started sliding down. Sarah's heart jumped into her throat. Nobody was paying attention. A man was on his phone by his truck. 2 teenagers were laughing and taking pictures of each other. A woman was inside paying. Sarah ran over. Sir, can you hear me?" She dropped to her knees next to him. His eyes were wide and terrified. "Can't breathe," he choked out. His hand was pressed against his chest. His face was white as paper. Heart attack. Sarah had studied this in her nursing classes. She knew what this looked like. Her hands were shaking as she pulled out her phone and dialed 911. "I need an ambulance at the gas station on MLK and 5th. Man having a heart attack. Yes, he's conscious but struggling to breathe." The operator kept asking questions, but Sarah was focused on the man. "What's your name?" she asked him. "Mike," he whispered. Sweat was pouring down his face. "Okay, Mike, I'm Sarah. Help is coming. Just stay with me." She put her hand on his shoulder. She could feel him shaking. "Do you have any medicine? Any pills?" He pointed weakly at his motorcycle. Sarah jumped up and searched through the leather bags attached to the bike. She found a bottle. Heart pills. She ran back and helped him take one. "You're gonna be okay," she told him. But honestly, she wasn't sure. He looked really bad. The ambulance felt like it took forever, but it was probably only 5 minutes. The paramedics rushed over with their equipment. They put an oxygen mask on Mike, hooked him up to machines, got him on a stretcher. One of the paramedics, a young guy with kind eyes, looked at Sarah. "You did good, real good. You might have saved his life." Sarah's tears burned in her eyes, but she held them back. She watched them load Mike into the ambulance. Right before they closed the doors, Mike pulled his oxygen mask aside for just a second. "Thank you," he mouthed to her. Then they were gone. Sarah stood there shaking. Her whole body felt like it was vibrating. She looked at the time on her phone. She'd been there almost an hour. She was going to be late to her cleaning job. Then she saw Mike's motorcycle. It was still sitting there at the pump. The gas station worker came out. "You know this guy?" "No, but someone needs to watch his bike." "Not my problem." The worker shrugged and went back inside. Sarah looked at the motorcycle. Something made her check the gas tank. She opened it and looked inside. Empty. Completely empty. Mike had been running on nothing. He'd probably been trying to make it to the pump when his heart gave out. In that moment, Sarah's chest hurt. She knew exactly what running on empty felt like. She pulled out her $10, looked at it. This was her gas money, her food money, everything she had until Monday. But Mike needed his bike to get home from the hospital. If he even made it, if he even made him. Sarah walked to the counter. Her hands were shaking. "Put this on pump 4, for the motorcycle." The cashier stared at her. "That ain't your bike." "I know, just do it, please." She pumped $10 of gas into Mike's tank. It wasn't much, maybe 2.5 gallons, but it was something. She found a receipt in her pocket and wrote on the back, "Put some gas in your tank. Police know your bike is here. Hope you're okay. Stay strong. Sarah." She tucked it under his helmet. Then she got in her car and left. Her gas light was on. She had maybe enough to make it to her cleaning job. After that, she didn't know. She made it, barely. Her boss yelled at her for being late. Sarah apologized and started scrubbing floors. Her stomach was growling. She hadn't eaten since yesterday, but she couldn't afford to eat now. That night, she parked behind the library, like always. She reclined her seat, tried to sleep, but she couldn't stop thinking about Mike. Was he alive? Was he okay? She also couldn't stop thinking about how dumb she'd been. $10. She had given a stranger her last $10. The voice in her head sounded like her mom. "Baby, you got a good heart, but you can't help others if you don't help yourself first." Maybe Mom was right. Maybe Sarah was too soft, too stupid. She cried herself to sleep that night. Saturday morning came too fast. Sarah's alarm went off at 4:30. Her body ached, her stomach hurt from hunger, but she dragged herself up and drove to the diner on fumes. Literally on fumes. Her gas light was on since yesterday. She made it to the diner parking lot, and the car died right as she pulled in. No gas left. None. Sarah put her head on the steering wheel. She had no money, no gas, and 3 more days until payday. She was crying when her boss, Rosa, found her. "Mija, what's wrong?" Rosa opened the car door. Sarah couldn't even speak. She just shook her head. Rosa looked at the gas gauge. She didn't say anything. She just pulled out $20 and put it in Sarah's hand. "Get some gas, get some food, pay me back when you can." "Rosa, I can't." "Yes, you can. Now come on, we got customers coming." Sarah wanted to hug her, but she was too tired. She just nodded and wiped her eyes. She worked her shift. Around 9 in the morning, she heard it. Motorcycles. Lots of them. The sound was so loud it made the diner window shake. Sarah looked up from pouring coffee. Her eyes went wide. Bikes were pulling into the parking lot. Big ones, loud ones, shiny ones, riders in leather vests with patches and colors. They kept coming. 10 bikes, 20, 30. The parking lot was completely full, and they were parking on the street now. Sarah counted 75 bikes before she lost track. Then the engines all shut off at once. The silence after was almost louder than the noise. Rosa came out from the kitchen. "What in the world is happening?" The door opened. Bikers started walking in. Big guys, tough-looking women, all ages, all colors. They filled up the diner until there was barely room to move. Then one guy walked to the front. Sarah's heart stopped. It was Mike. He was pale. He moved slow, but he was alive. He was wearing the same leather vest, and he was looking right at her. "Sarah," he said. She couldn't speak. She just nodded. Mike smiled. Then he turned to all the other bikers. "This is her. This is the angel who saved my life." The diner erupted in cheers and clapping. Sarah felt her face get hot. Tears filled her eyes.
Mike walked up to her. "The hospital told me what you did. Stayed with me, called 911, gave me my pills. The doctor said if you hadn't done that, I would have died right there." His voice cracked. "And then I found your note. You put your last $10 in my tank." "How did you know it was my last $10? Sarah whispered. "Because I know what being broke looks like. I used to be homeless myself, 10 years ago. I know that look in someone's eyes when they got nothing left." Mike's eyes were wet now, too. "And you still gave." A woman stepped forward. She was maybe 50, with long gray hair and a leather jacket. "I'm Linda, Mike's wife. When he told us what you did, we knew we had to do something." Another biker, a big black guy with a huge smile, spoke up. "We're the Iron Brotherhood. We ride together, we help each other, and anyone who helps one of us is family." Sarah was shaking. "I don't understand." Mike pulled out an envelope. "We took up a collection, all 75 of us. Some gave a lot, some gave a little, but everyone gave." He handed Sarah the envelope. She opened it with trembling hands. Inside was cash, lots of cash. She pulled it out and tried to count it, but her hands were shaking too bad. $5,000, Mike said softly. Sarah's knees almost gave out. Rosa caught her. "That's not all," Linda added. She handed Sarah a key, a car key. "That blue Honda outside? It's yours. One of our members owns a used car lot. He donated it." Sarah couldn't breathe. This wasn't real. This couldn't be real. "And this," a younger biker stepped forward, "with papers, paid registration for your nursing test, and the first semester of books for when you pass." Sarah broke down. She just completely fell apart. Rosa was holding her up. Mike stepped forward and wrapped his big arms around both of them. "You gave when you had nothing," Mike said into her hair. "That's real kindness, real love, and that deserves to be paid back 100 times over." The whole diner was crying now. Even some of the bikers had tears rolling down their tough faces. But then Mike pulled back. His face got serious. "There's one more thing." Sarah wiped her eyes. "I can't take anything else. This is too much already." "Nah, you got to hear this." Mike looked around at all his biker friends. "We also found out about your mom, about the hospital bills, about why you lost your apartment." Sarah's chest got tight. She didn't like talking about that. "We can't bring your mom back," Mike continued, "but we can make sure her memory means something." He nodded at Linda. Linda stepped forward with another envelope. "We paid off your hospital debt. All of it. $32,000. It's gone." Sarah couldn't even make sounds anymore. She was just making this weird, gasping, crying noise. "And we set up a fund," another biker added, "the Sarah Mitchell Nursing Scholarship, for other people who want to be nurses but can't afford it. Your mom was a nurse, right?" Sarah nodded. She couldn't talk. "Well, now other people can follow in her footsteps because of you, because you showed kindness to a stranger." The diner exploded in applause again. People were standing, cheering, crying. Rosa was squeezing Sarah so tight she could barely breathe, but Sarah didn't care. She was sobbing so hard her whole body was shaking. Mike leaned in close. "You saved my life with your last $10. Now we're saving yours. That's what family does." "But I don't even know you," Sarah cried. "You do now," Mike said simply. "You're part of the Brotherhood now. You need anything, ever, you call. We got mechanics if your car breaks. We got job connections. We got spare rooms if you need a place to crash. You're not alone anymore." She looked around at all these tough bikers, these scary-looking people that everyone else in the diner had been nervous about, and all she saw was kindness. All she saw was love. "Why?" she finally managed to ask. "Why would you do all this for me?" Mike smiled. "Because the world is hard enough, and when you find someone with a good heart, you protect that. You lift that up. You make sure that goodness doesn't die out." He paused. "My daughter died 3 years ago. Car accident. She was 25, about your age, and she had a heart just like yours. Always helping people, always giving. I couldn't save her, but maybe I can honor her by helping you." Now Sarah understood. This wasn't just about her. This was about Mike's daughter. This was about kindness rippling out. This was about pain turning into purpose. She hugged Mike again. "Thank you. Thank you so much." "No," Mike said firmly. "Thank you. You reminded me why we do this, why we ride. It's not about the bikes or the leather or looking tough. It's about being there for each other. It's about being human." The bikers stayed at the diner for 2 hours. They bought everyone's breakfast. They left huge tips. They took pictures with Sarah. They gave her all their phone numbers. They made her promise to call if she ever needed anything. When they finally left, the rumble of 75 motorcycles sounded like thunder. Sarah stood in the parking lot with Rosa, watching them go. The blue Honda they'd given her was parked right in front. The keys felt heavy in her hand. "You believe this?" Rosa asked. "No," Sarah whispered. "I keep thinking I'm going to wake up." "It's real, Mika. It's all real. Your mom would be so proud." Sarah started crying again. "I just gave him $10, that's all. It wasn't even about being nice. I just couldn't watch him die." "That's exactly what being nice is," Rosa said gently. "Doing the right thing, even when it costs you everything." That night, Sarah didn't sleep in her car. Mike's wife, Linda, had insisted Sarah stay with them until she found an apartment. Their house was beautiful. They gave her a bedroom with a real bed, a bathroom with a shower that had hot water, a kitchen where she could make actual food. Sarah lay in that bed in clean sheets and she cried. But this time it wasn't sad crying. It was that overwhelmed crying when you can't believe how things turned out. She took her nursing test 3 weeks later. She passed. She started her first nursing job 2 months after that. And on her first day of work, she wore a leather bracelet that Mike had given her. It had the Iron Brotherhood symbol on it, a reminder that kindness comes back, that goodness multiplies, that giving your last $10 to a dying stranger might just change your entire life. 5 years later, Sarah was working as a nurse in the ICU. She was good at her job, really good. She had her own apartment, a reliable car, money and savings, stability. But she never forgot. Every year, on the anniversary of meeting Mike, the Iron Brotherhood threw a benefit ride. They raised money for the Sarah Mitchell Nursing Scholarship. Hundreds of people had gotten help going to nursing school because of it. And Sarah? She kept a $10 bill in her wallet at all times. She never spent it. It was a reminder. When you're down to your last $10 and you choose to give it away, the universe has a way of noticing. Mike always told her it was karma. I thought it was something simpler than that. It was just people being good to each other. And that's the most powerful thing in the world. So what do you think? Would you have given your last $10 to a dying stranger? Could you do it knowing you had nothing left? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because I really want to know what you would do in Sarah's situation. And if this story touched your heart, if it made you feel something real, then please hit that subscribe button. We share emotional true stories like this every week. Stories about real people, real kindness, and real hope. Because in a world that can be so hard and cold, we all need reminders that good people still exist. Subscribe now and join our family. Let's spread more kindness together. Because you never know when your last $10 might change someone's life, or when someone else's kindness might change yours.